Same world, same characters. Different story, different fates. This rewrite would be aimed at a slightly older audience. If Naruto canon aims at 9 and up, which it does, I think my story would be closer to 14 and up. This isn't because of ultra-violence, but instead due to more mature themes sooner. If my story were in anime episode form, the first episode would be Naruto's birth and the Uchiha massacre. We would see the death of Kushina Uzumaki and Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage. We would see a shadowy assailant fleeing into the night with Minato hunting them down. We'd also skip forward 7 years for a vague glimpse at the Uchiha massacre, mostly seeing blood splatter. The chilling divide for the end of the episode would be reverting from Sasuke's discovery of his clan's fate to a young Naruto throwing a ball. The perspective would have us believe he's playing with someone, but the camera would spin to show the ball rolling on the ground with Naruto alone in a field. Yeah, it's pretty sad for an ending, but the grab of the earlier portion of the episode would give us at least a rough representation of what kinds of threats this world faces. Let's get to where the story begins, as our 12 main ninja graduate from the academy. In chapter 3 of the manga, Iruka tells Naruto that the teams are balanced based on scores, but that's entirely incorrect. They aren't balanced based on scores. All the sensory type ninja are grouped together, and all the disablers are together, and this ends up forming extremely lopsided teams that don't make any sense. Team Kurenai, for example, have less disabling ability and less throughput of power than if they were in an actually balanced team. Team Guy is centered around Taijutsu, so what if they were pitted against a Genjutsu specialized team? Only Neji would stand a chance. I instead prescribe to the belief that a balanced team should have ninja with different specializations. And so here are my teams. Team 10, Might Guy, Rock Lee, Ino Yamanaka, Kiba Inuzuka. Yeah, I'm about to upset your whole worldview of Naruto. Rock Lee stays with Might Guy because his entire identity is fashioned after Might Guy. It wouldn't make any sense to separate the two in this case. Might Guy is also a very confident man, so I put Ino and Kiba with him because these two are also the confident ones of their original teams. So there's some personality synergy as well. Also, Ino is a disabler, Kiba is a sensory type, and Rock Lee is what I'll call a bruiser. With Tsunade in the village, it becomes customary for the academy to teach medical ninjutsu as well, thereby giving Ino this skill set right away. Might Guy will now be able to teach Ino self-defense where she normally doesn't really have much, and with Kiba's healthy supply of chakra, he'll be able to learn some of the 8 Gates power himself. I recognize that a healthy chakra pool doesn't grant greater advantage with unlocking the 8 Gates, just that Kiba now has several potential additions to what he can do. He is, after all, hyperactive, though in a much different way than Naruto. And I believe between him and Rock Lee, there will definitely be some competition forming. Additionally, though it's not exactly in keeping with today's standards, I do intend for Kiba to at least start out kind of creepy with Ino, in the sense that he makes super bold, offensive comments in her direction at first. Like Sakura, Ino is a violent girl, so I foresee many head punches from her to Kiba as he makes a fool of himself. The intent is that Kiba sort of sees himself like a playboy and doesn't have the social wherewithal to see that he's making mistakes. Meanwhile, Rock Lee is ever the gentleman with Ino, especially since he knows she's closer with Sakura, whom, even in my version, he still has a crush on. Team 9. Kurenai, Sakura Haruno, Choji Akemichi, Shino Aburame. What? I hear you saying? Sakura is a main character! How dare you slot her in with these silly secondary characters? Well, I'm making balanced teams, thank you very much. And if the main characters are even a little bit split up, that means we get to see more of these awesome secondary characters. Since Kurenai is a Genjutsu type, she would pair well with Sakura. She's also the most specialized to deception of the 4 teachers, which would benefit Shino, who isn't exactly made for taijutsu and might need to rely on trickery to evade direct contact. Meanwhile, Choji has a heart of gold and can befriend anyone. If Naruto wasn't the hero of the story, Choji would probably be the next in line to be that guy who befriends everyone. He's strong and noble, so he could protect Sakura and Shino, whilst also delivering some offensive power. Sakura doesn't have a crush on anyone at the story's start, more focused on the various families and their unique powers, annoyed that she doesn't have one herself. Because she doesn't have a crush immediately on Sasuke, there's no hostile rivalry between her and Ino, so they're actually pretty good friends at the story's start. Once Kurenai points out her genjutsu potential, she latches on for dear life, and like Rock Lee, hyper-focuses on developing her genjutsu power. And I kid you not, I'm going to have a lot of fun with her development yet again. This team is a quiet one. Sakura's obedient, Choji's not really a talker, and Shino is just the most silent. Kurenai's challenge would be to get them to come out of their shells a little more, so they can communicate better with each other. None of them particularly dislike each other, but they also don't particularly like each other either. They're completely indifferent, which is another issue their teacher will need to work on. Sakura and Choji both are creeped out by Shino's bugs, while Shino and Sakura are disheartened by Choji's appetite, and Choji and Shino don't know what Sakura is even good at. It's a tangle, but it'll be a fun journey to unwrap this team. Again, Shino's a tracker, Choji's the disabler / bruiser, and to start with, as previously mentioned, Sakura's not really anything yet. I also wanted Kurenai to have some sort of challenge, because of all the Jonin teachers, we don't see her do anything in comparison to them. Team 8, Asuma Sarutobi, Tenten, Hinata Hyuga, and Naruto Uzumaki. This is going to be so fun. I can't even describe how much I'm looking forward to developing these characters. Of all the people in the village who should dislike Naruto, Asuma should be at the top of the list. It was the fox that killed the third, his father. However, he bears no ill will towards Naruto and is selected as his leader to calm the growing rebelliousness in Naruto's heart. Tenten is also a weapons specialist, and Asuma sees great potential in harnessing Tenten's elemental natures in combination with her weaponry to make her a particularly unique specialization. Hinata Hyuga is too quiet and kind and needs someone with Asuma's combat experience and nonchalant confidence to push her toward a more bold mindset. Additionally, she gets teamed up with Naruto, her crush. This allows her to get peripheral encouragement from him, as he latches on to anyone who doesn't dislike him. Though most of the graduating class don't hate Naruto, he doesn't enjoy their apathy either. Tenten is excited to work with a Hyuga, considering the advantages of the Byakugan. Tenten doesn't have a specialization yet, but Hinata is the censor, and Naruto with his flying Raijin could pull off disabling as well as bruiser. Naruto isn't the high-confidence, low-skill ninja he is in canon. He is in fact a facade of high confidence with medium skill. Within the village, he feels tough, with both his father and Jiraiya nearby as his teachers, but give him the right stimulus when he can't lean back on them, and I think we'll see a seldom seen side of Naruto. Team 7, Kakashi Hatake, Sasuke Uchiha, Neji Hyuga, Shikamaru Nara. Now hold on a second, I hear you saying. I thought you said the teams were going to be balanced. Minato Namikaze is still looking at potential war. His mindset is for a bunch of balanced teams and one elite team. If an army of Genin are going to be sent out to battle, he needs at least one team to make it back alive. It's grim, but it's necessary for greatest survival and success. If the best ninja was split amongst the teams, then the weaker ninja could hold back the stronger ninja, and the village would lose brimming talent for no reason. Not to mention, Minato wants to repair the rivalry between the Hyuga and the Uchiha, and joining the best genin from both families would be a surefire way to work towards that goal. Shikamaru didn't score well, but it's well known amongst everyone who knows him that he's naturally smarter than everyone else his age. Not to mention Shikaku is himself a genius, so it's a reasonable assumption as well. Not only is this an elite team, but it's also got a healthy balance of a sensory type ninja and a disabler. Having not lost his father, Neji no longer has a stick up his butt, and idolizing the fourth, Sasuke is predisposed for teamwork now. They have no reason not to get along except for the long-standing Hyuga-Uchiha rivalry. The first moments of the story are right after the teams have been assigned. We get to have some send-offs from various characters, as well as teasing and general character building. Kiba would remark that he got teamed up with a hottie, much to the annoyance of Ino, who is still very much in love with Sasuke. Neji would have words with Sasuke, warning him to stay out of the way if their missions get dicey, only for Sasuke to warn the exact same back. Sasuke hasn't had much contact with the Hyuga clan because of this petty conflict between families, so he and Neji both are sort of prejudiced against one another for no reason other than what they've been told to believe. Sakura would be displeased at being teamed up with the creepy Shino and Big Eater Choji, sure that her team doesn't have much promise. Hinata would cheer to Naruto that they were teamed together, and Naruto would match her calm excitement. Shikamaru would express confusion that he wasn't teamed up with Ino and Choji, as their formation was a generational teaming in the village. Shikamaru also spent the majority of his childhood with Ino and Choji, and thought their natural friendship would guarantee being teamed together. In fact, later on, there would even be displeasure expressed by the parents that Minato had split this particular team up. Meanwhile, Naruto would wonder if he's too strong for his team. He's been trained by the 4th Hokage and one of the Sannin after all. He's a cut above the rest of this rabble. At least, that's what he wants to think. None of them have been told that Kakashi's team is the elite team, so it takes a keen mind amongst these children to make that deduction. Luckily, none of the kids make this connection, as that would surely stir discomfort among the genin. Several of the kids, such as Neji, Kiba, and Sakura, would express relief that they weren't teamed up with Naruto, that they wouldn't be able to trust whether he'd release the monster within. Naruto sneers at them and challenges any of them to a one-on-one, because maybe they'll learn to fear the man, not the shadow of a monster locked away. As violence begins to stir from Naruto's call to action, the classroom door slides open and Kurenai enters, beckoning for Sakura, Choji, and Shino to follow her out. Sakura flashes a silent, insulting gesture as she walks past Naruto and exits the room. He leans back and rolls his eyes. Oh, this Naruto does not have a crush on anyone yet either. He's a little too self-involved at the very beginning to think about girls. Eventually, Mike Guy enters the room and excitedly shouts for Rock Lee, Ino, and Kiba to come with him and celebrate their springtime of youth. The talking between the remaining students dies down to a whisper as Sasuke settles down next to Shikamaru and mutters some greetings. Tenten leans against Naruto and Hinata's desk and says they might as well get along if they're going to be teammates. Though Naruto remains stubborn, Hinata smiles and greets Tenten. Still unsure of his teammates, Naruto's thought process is interrupted by Asuma hailing them. He spares few words before inviting them out of the classroom. Before they leave, Neji asks Asuma if their own teacher will arrive soon. Asuma chuckles and tells them to be patient. He knows Kakashi has a tardy streak, as I'm sure all the veteran shinobi of the village know. Asuma leads the team to a restaurant where they can eat and relax. Naruto leaps at the chance of free food, and Asuma tells him this is one of the only times he'll treat the team if Naruto pigs out. Doing his very best to hold back his appetite, Naruto takes just a few pieces of meat, conscious now of Hinata sitting beside him, patiently waiting her turn to grab a piece. Asuma greets the team officially, telling him that he's the son of the 3rd Hokage, much like Naruto's son of the 4th. This snaps Naruto's attention to him, surprised by the information. He tells them that he likes to plan out methods of attack as well as his prowess with ninjutsu and taijutsu. Through his own skills, he'll be able to pinpoint exactly how to make each member of the team stronger. After reviewing the team's stats from the academy, he makes a point to compliment Tenten on her use of shuriken and kunai. Tenten tries to bat away the compliment, having suffered her own losses already, unable to learn medical ninjutsu, lacking the chakra control for it. Asuma reasserts that if she keeps at her weapon training, her potential could be limitless, brightening her mood. He then turns his attention to Hinata, who's still struggling to muster the courage to grab a piece of meat. He tells her that she's of the prestigious Hyuga family. If she can conquer her shortcomings, she's sure to be a wonderful asset to any team. She nods in agreement, but can hardly muster a voice to even answer him. Finally, Asuma snaps his fingers in front of Naruto and tells him that regardless of his other teachers, Naruto still wasn't an elite ninja. He tells him that it will require a great amount of discipline to ascend to the level Naruto envisions himself to be. Asuma is most troubled by Hinata, sure that Tenten and Naruto will find their fit easily enough. He wonders why Hinata wanted to be a ninja in the first place, with her lackluster grades in both the written and practical testing. We also get a flash with Kurenai's team where she asks each of them what they want to get good at. Shino quietly says taijutsu, as his body is a hive and not ideal for taking damage. Shino's pretty good at scouting and with minimal preparation can lay out a strong offense. He would like more than nothing else to be able to aptly defend himself though. Choji says that he just needs confidence. He feels comfortable in peace, but when he's tasked to perform on the spot, he often falters. Sakura doesn't really know what she wants. She doesn't know what her strengths or weaknesses are particularly. Kurenai already knew all of this, notes that Iruka had taken while the kids were officially still students in the academy. We fade away from that team and into Team Kakashi. He's asking them what their hopes and dreams are. Neji declares that he has no wish, but a requirement: to protect the main branch of the Hyuga family, of which he was adopted into. Shikamaru looks up at the clouds and shrugs, not really sure if what he has could be considered hopes or dreams, but instead expectations. Sasuke shifts uncomfortably before saying that he wishes to discover the culprit who killed his family and clan. Kakashi expects the answers that Neji and Sasuke gave him, but Shikamaru is lazy even in dreams, and this is something that Kakashi needs to learn to excite. We also get a glimpse of Team Guy. My guy asks them what they'd like to do most before their springtime of youth has passed them by. Rock Lee shouts that he wants to be the world's greatest taijutsu master. Kiba, caught up by my guy's energy, shouts that he wants to be the next Hokage. Ino declares that she'll conquer Sasuke Uchiha in love. We don't really get a glimpse of my guy's thought process here, as he's too engaged with his high energy goofiness. We also don't want to overwhelm the audience with all the characters so much, so now we'll zero in on two characters for the conclusion. The meet and greet is over and we see Sasuke walking home, sharing a split screen with Naruto. There's a sunset to Naruto's right, the same to Sasuke's left. People walk by Sasuke as he walks, minding their own business, laughing amongst themselves, ignoring him. People walk by Naruto as he walks, sputtering insults at him, whispering rude comments to each other about him. Sasuke gets home to an organized porch and opens the door to a dark, silent house. Naruto gets home to a well-kept yard and opens the door to a dark, silent house. Sasuke looks down the dark halls of his home and his head drops. His clanmates are still out on patrol. Naruto looks down the dark halls of his home and his heart yearns for his father, no doubt still busy at work. Both of them look back out from their front door at the darkening town as they slowly swing their respective doors shut to absolute silence. And part 3 is finished! I hope you're enjoying my rearranging of the team and look forward to the future of all of these characters. I figured if Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura remained the main characters, but were split across 3 teams, we'd get more natural looks at said teams. It wasn't just that though. I genuinely wanted Sasuke separated from Naruto and Sakura, and I genuinely wanted Naruto and Hinata to be teamed together. But remember, in almost every way my version of events is completely different from canon, so the direction you might assume I'm going, I might not be going. Next video we're going to be taking a step back to let things breathe. I'll be introducing several side plots, some of which will unravel right away, while others might just incubate for a while. We'll also see how several characters spend their free time between missions. There's so much more coming in this series, you don't want to miss what's next, and always remember, the sky's the limit.